GT Countdown. The top 10 games we want from Rare.
With the upcoming reveal of the new Xbox, we really want to see more than Gears of War, Halo, and Fable. All new concepts are welcome, of course, but Microsoft has another deep, untapped well to draw from. For far too long, UK studio Rare has been occupied with avatars and Kinect games. Key players like the Stamper Brothers may have parted ways with the company, but it's still home to decades of great franchises, from the early Ultimate games like Jetpack to cult favorites like Jet Force Gemini and Cameo. With the right resources, Rare could make a proper comeback, and the following titles are at the top of our wish list to Old Uncle Tusk.
Number 10. Blast Corps.
While not as well known as Rare's other N64 darlings, this anti-nuke destruction derby could really take wide advantage of whatever hardware Microsoft has brewing. Prefabricated obliteration would be set aside for heavy-duty, physics-running demolition models, adding a layer of simulation and chaos to the metered-out action puzzles that made the original so great. The N64 version also allowed Rare to showcase its ingenuity with bonus races and scenarios. With a huge variety of vehicles and with Blast Corps not defined by any genre, Rare could again let its imagination run wild, maybe even slip in a new Kinect 2.0 minigame or experiment with multiplayer. It's been too long since we've demolished a building with a drifting dump truck.
Number 9. Conquer.
Conquer was supposed to get his own sequel called Conquer's Other Bad Day, but it was turned into the updated Live and Reloaded for the Xbox after the company was purchased by Microsoft in 2002. Games that poke fun at life in video games don't come along that often, and when they do, they're more like Duke Nukem Forever or Matt Hazard and less like Blood Dragon. Conquer wasn't just a comedian. This Bad Fur Day had some incredible bosses and clever multiplayer modes, along with a persistently unpredictable campaign. Once he was crowned king, Conquer forgot about his little people, but we hope he goes back for another binge in the next generation.
You guys ting. Ting.
Number 8. An original RPG.
Sure, it's an idea out of left field, but instead of rebooting an old franchise or revisiting a familiar genre by making a new platformer or shooter, we're intrigued to see Rare try their hand at an RPG. Turning the cheek away from the sci-fi and fantasy heavy hitters of Western RPGs, it's high time we had a cute, cuddly, and colorful world featuring the type of anthropomorphized characters that are the signature of Rare's past. Bonus points if the plot isn't built around stopping an evil being from destroying all existence.
Number 7. Wizards and Warriors.
One of the original NES action games, Wizards and Warriors puts you in the shoes of the knight Kuros in a quest to defeat the wizard Malkil. The sequel, Iron Sword, is best known for putting Fabio on its cover, but the third entry in the series may be the most interesting, breaking away from its linear roots as you switch between evolving roles as a knight, a thief, and a wizard. Today, it can be most likened to Trine, as you have to master the abilities of each class and use them as keys to progression. And we'd love to see Kuros dust off the old armor in a new HD adventure.
Number 6. A kart racer.
Everybody loved Diddy Kong Racing, which once upon a time one-upped Mario Kart by swapping vehicles racing through air, land, and sea. It's debatable if the game was actually better than Mario Kart 64, but this fresh, multi-vehicle approach was a hit, later inspiring the surprisingly excellent Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. How could they kick it up yet another notch? Playable Killer Instinct characters, the Suction Cup unicycles and hoverbikes from Battletoads, Joanna Dark and James Bond merging their cars together to form a super-powered underground digging machine. We're sure they could think of something.
Number 5. Battletoads.
Today, Battletoads may have become a punchline for internet pranks, but in the early 90s, these guys were true badasses. Rash, Pimple, and Zitz with two Z's were just three muscly toad mutants trying to stop a sexy Dark Queen from capturing this princess they all had a crush on. Now it's been 19 years since the Battletoads punched the last rat monster with the giant green fist. For Rare, sleeping on this license makes absolutely no sense. The transforming combos still look cool, co-op instantly sells itself, and they have the rights to the greatest pause music of all time.
Number 4. A Donkey Kong Country-style platformer.
Donkey Kong Country may no longer be in Rare's hands, but the relationship between Rare's Super NES platformers and the original DK is shallow at best. The enemies, environments, and animal buddies are all Rare creations, and it would be great to see them dream up a new side-scroller in the same vein, perhaps based on one of the lesser-known characters from Diddy Kong Racing. No, something new is probably better. While impressive at the time, the pre-rendered graphics lost a lot in the compression needed to get them on a 32 megabit cartridge, so it'd be interesting to see a new game produced with similar techniques today.
Number 3. Banjo-Kazooie.
The Bear and Breagle gave Mario a run for his money back on the N64 in the stellar Banjo-Kazooie, but the duo's makeover in 2008's Nuts and Bolts left a bad taste in our mouths. It's time for Rare to give the platformer another spin, and it could be just the killer app the next Xbox needs. Banjo-Kazooie's unique team mechanics, tight controls, and well-crafted worlds are why some regard it as one of the best 3D platformers, and we'd love to see what Rare could pull off on the new hardware.
Number 2. Perfect Dark.
GoldenEye is one of the best first-person shooters of all time, a fact that we can say with complete confidence. Due to licensing issues, that original magic will never be recreated. Perfect Dark did an admirable job carrying on the legacy, then failed its mission to bring Joanna to the Xbox 360. We'd be down for another posting at the Carrington Institute, but a new franchise could be exciting as well. If Rare were to train their sights on another FPS, it doesn't have to be Bond, it doesn't have to be Dark, it just has to be good. Microsoft could use a few more exclusive shooters on its new console, and if an offering from Rare were to feature the inventive objectives and crazy weapons we remember from the good old days, it could be irresistible.
Number 1. Killer Instinct.
Available for your home in 1995, only on Nintendo Ultra 64.
Though Killer Instinct's ridiculously epic arcade intro never did quite make good on the promise of its Ultra 64 release, our hope is that Rare may instead decide to honor its legacy with a long-awaited sequel for Microsoft's next big console. It's not surprising that fans continue to clamor for a follow-up even 17 years after the previous games. The series brought undeniable style and attitude to the 90s arcade scene, with its mystifying pseudo-3D graphics, cheesy cool radical character designs, and a completely unique combat system that forever ingrained a two-word catchphrase into the collective consciousness of gamers everywhere. Fighting games are in a precarious place right now, with seemingly less and less to be excited about as each new title makes it to market. As the last and possibly most requested old-school title yet to receive a reboot, Killer Instinct may just be the killer edge Rare needs to gain everyone's attention once again. See all of our shows and game reviews now on the brand new GT app on Xbox Live, and the GT Originals iOS app too.